Okay, so here again we have two shapes, triangle A and triangle B. Now, we have the point P as well now, which is -2, -2. It is shown on the diagram right here. Now, part 1. Describe fully the single transformation that maps A onto triangle B. So, step by step, we have to proceed with elimination. So, how can you make A become B? So, we have translation, we have rotation, we have enlargement, and we have reflection. So by elimination, we can see that it has to be a reflection. If you just turn your graph in this direction, right? If you observe, this point became this point became this point. So it seems that they were reflected on the x-axis. So let's write this down. The first point will be to say this is a reflection. That's the first point in the line, in the x-axis, basically, not the line. So that will be much easier. So 2 points for this and this. Part 1 done. Now for part 2, write down the matrix that represent this transformation. So again, if you don't know, if you don't remember or memorize this transformation, what do? We can always derive that matrix. So step by step, first thing is your y-axis and your x-axis. Now, if you can understand this right now, that will be so much helpful for you. You can derive almost any transformation. So we begin with, this is the first point we care about. This is 1, 0. And then we'll look at this point. This will be 0, 1. And then we also have to label the rest, which is this one is 0, -1. And of course, we have to look at -1, 0. Now, we have to look at this point, the first one. So this is the matrix. So I have to look at this one the first. Now we are trying to reflect in the line x-axis, right? So x-axis will be this line. So because this point is already on the line, it will not change its position because it is on the line itself. It cannot reflect either direction. So the first point will be the same. 1, 0 will be on the line itself because it cannot change position on that reflection. Now, second point, we have to look at this one. If you observe, for this one, if you reflect this one over this line, it will become, so reflect, it will become this one, 0, -1. So you have to write down 0, -1. So this is the matrix representing that transformation. So 1, 0, and 0, -1. That is part 2 of the question. Now for part B, triangle A is mapped onto triangle C. So right now we have an enlargement. The center is P and the scale factor is -1/2. Okay, now we have to draw and label triangle C. So again, here we have two methods of solving this question. But let's see if you want to proceed first by the graph. So we have to map A onto C. Now because the scale factor is -1/2, as we can see, we understand that it has to be, the size must become smaller, but also the point P, center P, has to be in between them. That's the one thing we can conclude from that, right? So let's try to do this. So the one way is definitely just on the graph by drawing lines across this P. So for example, you will draw this point, join that with P, and continue that all the way. And this point, join that with P, and continue all the way. That's one way of doing that, obviously. Okay, so that's the first step. Now, because you know that the size has become half of what it was, because the scale factor is half, right? You can do what? You can count. It was 1, 2. So by applying a scale factor of half, it will become 2 multiplied by half will be 1, right? So try again. 2 multiplied by half will be 1. So this height of 2 will become the height of 1. So let's see. Here, where do we have a height of 1? It is right here. So if I was to connect this properly, it will show this is the height of 1. So this became this. Now same idea. So because of that, 1, 2, 3, 4 divided by 2 will be 2. So count 1, 2 right here. So this will be we can just join them to have this, right? Okay, this will be your triangle of C by that enlargement of scale factor minus half. That is one way of doing that question, by drawing lines and comparing size to find the shape of C. Now, other way is to use matrix, right? So as we have seen before, how does a matrix of enlargement looks like? It will look something like this. It will be K, 0, 0, K. So we have to know this. This one cannot be derived from that, unfortunately. You have to know this, where K is the scale factor. So that's something we have to know. I apologize about the noise outside. It is what it is. Sorry about that. Now we have a scale factor of minus half. So let's write this down. So we know the matrix for enlargement has to be minus half, 0, 0 minus half. That's given to you by the question itself right here. Now again, to use the matrix multiplication, what do we have to do? We have to have a center of 0, 0, because here the center is P. It will not be possible. We have to first remove that from the object. The object is A, as we have seen. A is what? It is the points. We can just read that from the graph. It is 2, 2. It is 6, 2, and then 2, 4. So first we have to minus the center P. P is minus 2 and then 2. That will give you what? That will give you, so become plus, that will be 4, 8, and then we have 4. Here we have 0, 0, and then 2. So these are the points we have to work with. This is the fake A we have to work with. Now matrix is this one times object, which is this. Let's see, what do we get? You will get minus 2, minus 4, minus 2, and that will be 0, 0, minus 1. This is the resulting answer. But again, this is not the answer yet because we have minus the center. We have to plus back the center of minus 2, 2 for the answer. So you will get what? Minus 2, minus 2, that will be minus 4, minus 6, and minus 4. That will be 2, 2, 1. So let's compare the points on the graph that we have. So it is minus 4, 2, bam, good. Minus 6, 2, minus 6, 2, bam. And then finally minus 4, 1, minus 4, 1. So yep, you can see we have two methods of solving the same questions, but you should be getting the same answer, which is your triangle C label on that graph. And that is your question number 5 of this series. I will also leave a link down for question number 6 of the transformation series, and that will be the last question to help you prepare for your exam.